Hello and welcome back to lesson 9.2. This is the part 2 video. In the part 1 video, we looked at multiplying a polynomial and a monomial. Today we're going to look at factoring a monomial out of a polynomial. So if you recall, factoring is actually reversing the process of multiplication. And I know when you guys were in elementary school, you had to find things like the greatest common factor. And when we do that for a polynomial, we're looking for the greatest common factor that falls in all of the terms or in all of the pieces of the polynomial. So really, this is the exact same thing that you did when you guys were in elementary, but now we're just going to add a little bit more to it. So example 2 says, find the greatest common factor, or the GCF, of, and for part A, you can see we have 4x cubed, 12x squared, and 8x. Our job now is to find a number that will go into 4, 12, and 8. And if you take a quick second, you can pause the video and then we'll continue to go over the answer here in just one moment. Okay, so something that will go into both 4, 12, and 8 is going to be 4. Then we have to look at the x terms. Because I have an x cubed, an x squared, and an x, the greatest common factor that will go into all three of these is going to be just the letter x. Because if I look at x cubed is really x times x times x. X squared is really x times x, and x is, well, just x. So you can see here that all three of these have at least an x in them. So that's what makes that the greatest common factor for the variable term. Now, when we look at the greatest common factor for part B, I have 3t squared minus 18. So the first thing I notice right off the bat is that I've got a t squared here, but no t term on the second term. So I'm not going to have a t in my final answer. So in this case, I just have to concentrate on the numerical side of things. So I need something that will go into both 3 and 18. And in this case, it's going to be the number 3. So for part B, 3 is the greatest common factor between 3t squared and 18. And for part C now, we have 5v to the 5th plus 10v cubed. I notice right away that both terms have a v, so I know I'm going to have at least a v in my greatest common factor. So if I look at the 5 and the 10, I see that 5 will go into both, and then I have a v to the 5th and a v cubed. So v to the 5th, remember, is v times v times v times v times v, and v cubed is equal to v times v times v. So if you look, both of them have a v to the 3rd power in them. So this greatest common factor becomes 5v cubed. Now, example 3 says to factor. Factor is really very similar to finding the greatest common factor. Okay, so I'm going to start out by finding my greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor in 8x squared and 12x is going to be my 4x. And then when I factor, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a set of parentheses, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to divide each term. So I'm going to divide this by 4x, and I'm going to divide this by 4x. And whatever those two terms are divided by 4x are what's going to go inside the parentheses. So 8x squared divided by 4x is going to give me 2x. I do have a subtraction in the middle. And then 12x divided by 4x is going to give me 3. So now, a way that you can double check your work is you can redistribute that 4x. So if I go 4x times 2x, that would give me 8x squared. And then I have 4 times a negative 3, which will give me a negative 12x. So because this answer here ended up being the same as what my original problem was here, that tells me I did this correctly. But my two factors, which is what the problem actually asked for, is this right here. Now for part B, I have 3 terms, or a trinomial, And I see that all three terms have the variable m in them. And I also have 6, 12, and 24. So my greatest common factor in this case is going to be a 6m. Then I'm going to put my parentheses and I'm going to divide each term by 6m. So 6m cubed divided by 6m is just going to give me m squared. Then I have a negative 12m squared divided by 6m is going to give me a negative 2m. And then a negative 24m divided by 6m is going to give me a negative 4. So my two factors are going to be 6m and then the quantity of m squared minus 2m minus 4. So I have a monomial, and in this case, I have a trinomial. For part C, I'm going to look at all three terms because I have another trinomial, and I see that my greatest common factor in this case is going to be a 2x, and I'm going to divide each term now by 2x. So 2x to the fourth divided by 2x will give me x cubed. A positive 10x squared divided by 2x is going to give me a positive 5x. And then a negative 6x divided by 2x is going to give me a negative 3. So here I have the factors of 2x, and then my other factor is x cubed plus 5x minus 3. And again, with any of these, you should be able to distribute the monomial onto the trinomial, and it would give you the original problem. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.